Footage from Australia's first evacuation flight out of Afghanistan. Just 26 people on a plane with capacity for 134. A stark contrast to the images of packed US flights. But today, the PM said the UK had helped fly out more of our people.
76 people were evacuated, including Australian citizens and Afghan visa holders.
The PM has said the emptiness of Australia's first flight was a result of instability at Kabul airport, but that our flights will continue.
We expect to be able to continue them now throughout the course of this week and into next week, but we are moving urgently, safely, because we're taking nothing for granted.
A reality very clear to one former interpreter for the ADF, shot in the leg as he attempted to reach the Australian evac flight. Thousands of Afghans risked everything to work alongside Australian troops, as interpreters, embassy staff, guards. And as countries around the world successfully evacuate their Afghan colleagues, Australia falters.
We want to be a nation whose reputation is we help you if you help us. And I fear that is being undermined.
After being criticised for originally offering just 3,000 humanitarian visas to Afghan refugees, the PM today insisted that number is just the beginning.
We see that as a floor, not as a ceiling, and so we believe we can achieve more than 3. And if the overall program has to be expanded to accommodate additional, then it will be.
The Defence Minister has been suggesting there are other reasons for the slow evacuation of Afghans whose lives are now in danger.
Some people have taken up offers to go to another part of the world. In some cases, there's an offer that's been made. People won't accept that offer because their grandparents can't come. In some circumstances, somebody who worked for us 10 years ago and was an ally has now found themselves working for the Taliban.
So is Australia really doing everything within its power to help Afghans in need? And if not, why?
Well, Glenn Kolometz is a lawyer working to help Afghan interpreters and staff out of Afghanistan. He's also a veteran who served there, and he joins us now. Glenn, what was your reaction to those images of that near-empty plane?
Lisa, we have 17 people sitting in that terminal at HK Airport right now. Their brother was killed in Afghanistan working for our forces. So 17 members of a family, including 3 babies. Why the hell weren't they on that flight? The government has their names and they know they're there.
Have they told you what they've been told by the government?
They've been told nothing. They told me they've seen Australian defence people walking around with the little flag on the shoulder, but they've been told nothing by the Australian government.
The Australian government's saying there's just too much instability at Kabul airport at that moment. I think we saw with Germany, their first attempt, they could only get 7 out, and they had similar reasons, and then they had a second attempt and managed to get a lot more out. Do you think that's plausible, and does it give you encouragement that maybe a second mission might get more out?
Well, we know it's been insecure, and we've heard all the intel on the ground. We have our people there. The terminal itself, outside the terminal, it's been pretty hectic. The terminal inside, where this family have been for days now, it certainly wasn't as hectic then. So, look, I'm disappointed. They once people are inside that terminal, I think there's no real excuse not to be getting them on flights. It's stable enough to land, to board 20-odd people. It's stable enough to get another family on board and then take off, into my view.
The government is saying that the assessment story is difficult because some people have started working for the Taliban already. Have you heard stories like that?
We've heard none of those. I've heard Peter Dutton rolled out a few times, but we've heard none of those stories from any of our people. We've known our clients, our people for years, and we've been in constant contact with them for at least the last 12 months, and I've heard none of that. We have files on all of our people. We've vetted our people ourselves, and they were very well security vetted previously to get jobs with the ADF and DFAT. We've heard none of that, no.
Is there any chance that your vetting might be out of date now and things might have transpired since then?
There's always that chance. There's also the chance the government's more recent intelligence vetting isn't accurate as well. I'm not entirely sure what evidence the minister's relying on, but again, it's a bit of a blanket, a bit of a throwaway line, I think, to try and detract from the fact that the government's dropped the ball on this, and the bureaucracies at Defence and DFAT have done a pretty poor job in this entire process, to be honest.
So the government that is also saying that some people are rejecting the offer of resettlement because they want their family to come. Do you think do you know of that happening? But I suppose more to the point, is it reasonable for government not to be offering to bring the whole family of these people over?
The risk we've exposed these people to, particularly the people that have worked for us, extends to their families. I'll tell you a story. A couple of days ago, one of our clients, his mother, was approached by the Taliban. They held an AK-47 to her head and demanded that she telephone our client to let them know where he is. They're hunting him down. We've exposed these family members to the risk, particularly the ones who have worked for us. So how dare we now say, no, you can't bring those family, you've got to leave those family members to the Taliban. That's a bit rich. And so I am quite critical of the government for that little gem.
It's a shocking situation. Glenn, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.